Hello to all my friends out there. Hi, you guys. Well, the Public Health Department of California is ordering all individuals to stay home at their place of residence. This goes into effect Thursday. So Tuesday morning, I got up about 9 and I said, well, you better go to the food pantry because it's not looking good. Well, when I got there, they said, well, we only have enough food for 12 people, and 10 people, and I was number 12. And at that time, I said, oh my gosh, this is not looking good. So, starting Sunday morning, I thought, well, you better get some toilet paper, and it took me until Wednesday to get toilet paper. Driving around because, I don't work. So one thing that really helped me is AMTV Christopher Green a couple days ago. He said, you guys have a couple days left. And I thought, I think I believe him. And so, I ran around town making some last minute preparations just in case this happened. I figure it's going to happen. They're saying to expect around 57% of the population of California to get this coronavirus. California is a huge state. In fact, they say we're like our own little country. We're humongous. And 57% of us is going to get the coronavirus. So I've been inside all day because I just had the feeling, it's getting to the point where it's not safe. When I was trying to shop around for stuff, I was the only one wearing a mask. Not that that was keeping me safe because I didn't have that good of a mask, but I figured it was better than nothing. Today I was watching the Bear Pantry show. It's getting real out there. Are you okay? And so what she was doing, you should subscribe to this, the Bear Pantry show. She was driving to her sister's to get some flour so she could make some bread. And I thought, yeah, that is a really smart thing to do. It was really strange, I was in Walmart and when I was trying to get toilet paper, I thought, well, take a look around and see if there's anything you might possibly need. And just then they were bringing about 6 gold medal premium flour. I have a lot of flour, but for bread baking, that's the one I like. That's one. You want nutritious bread if you're going to have to survive on this. So this is one of those situations where we are powerless. There's nothing we can do. We've been ordered to stay in the house. So what I do under these kind of circumstances of powerlessness is I say, okay, what would I be doing if this hadn't happened? Well, I'm not used to staying in the house all day, but, for my own good, I had to. So what I did is I did all my laundry today, for one thing. That was a real good idea. Okay, so now I'm making 1 loaf bread. Here's the recipe, and if you've been following me, you've seen this recipe a zillion times. This is a good one. So I have 1 package. I use 2 1/4 teaspoons yeast, 1/2 cup lukewarm water, a 1/2 teaspoon of sugar, and then I put the full-on yeast in my half loaf. You might not want to do that if you don't like the yeast. I think it's nourishing. Then I scalded 1 cup powdered milk. I added only a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I added about an eighth teaspoon of sugar. And I didn't add butter. I added margarine, about an 1/8 cup, which brings us to this point. So here's my activated yeast if you've never made it. So the thing about this, and here's my scalded milk with the butter and the sugar and the salt. So this is really easy once you get the hang of this. So if you have stuff to make bread, you're probably going to be okay, because if you have peanut butter and you have honey or jam, you know, you could just make a little peanut butter sandwich. But later on tonight, I'm going to make some sausage gravy, and I'm going to have some sausage gravy on the bread. So what I want to do is do a little bit of some of my old-fashioned cooking that is going to get me through this. So you guys, this morning I knew it wasn't looking good, because you know I had gone, okay, Tuesday I went to the food pantry, and they said come back Thursday. That's tomorrow. We're on lockdown. This morning they sent me a message on the phone that as of now the other senior food, the food bank is closed. So if you were depending on one of these places and you didn't have food, you would call 911, and one of the followers told on the comments that that's in every 50 states. If your utilities are about to be shut off, if you don't have any milk for the babies or whatever, or you know you have terrible problems, you call 211. Now, from what I have heard, they're going to send people out to assist you. You know, when I had that experience, and it is a good thing that, you know, I called 211, and that was thanks to one of the followers. So, you call them up, and I'm sure within like a couple days, you know, I had found the food pantry, and I think I went 4 times. So you can see this is going to make a lot of dough. What I do is I just keep stirring the flour in until it starts to form a ball. Then I turn it out onto a board, and I knead it a little bit, and I put it in a pan, and then I rise it just one time. That's good enough. So what I don't want to do while I'm, you know, being sheltered in place is I don't want to go out and bring the coronavirus in to my house, and I don't want to bring anyone into my house. Not that anyone is supposed to be leaving their house, but I don't want to bring anyone into my house either. So if you don't go out and get it, from what I can see, they're going to have gas stations and stores open. But remember, they're expecting 56% of people to get it. And here in San Diego, we have that medical oh boy, we have that medical vessel, you know, floating around just outside of the city. And from what I can understand, the trauma, people who've had terrible traumas are going to be on the medical vessel. What a nightmare. So what you want to say to yourself is there's probably no place that I need to go bad enough to infect myself with the coronavirus. Okay, so what I did, and this is the second time I did it too, is I deleted all my eBay stuff. But this time, you know, I do the auction and it's every 6 days. So I left all the stuff up that is in 6 days. And then if we're still quarantined, which we probably will, then I'll just repost stuff, not too much, a little bit of stuff. You know, some of my stuff could have sold, and, you know, there's just no way for me to get it to them. So that's really horrible, because if they send you the money, that was just going to create all kinds of bad. See what a nice soft dough I have here? This is so easy to make. And then, you know, I can have some tasty eggs and bread, if you have eggs. And I told you guys, I couldn't find any eggs, really. The eggs were all, you know, the last bits of the eggs, all the eggs were sold. And I was really lucky. I went to 7-Eleven and the eggs had just come in. So if you have eggs and you have bread and you have some meat, if you live in California, you have a little time. I think you can drive a little bit tonight and get stuff. Not that it's safe. It's really not safe. But, you know, if you need stuff, you need stuff. I mean, no toilet paper is brutal. Another thing is I really wouldn't care to drink tap water about right now either. You know, I was watching this one channel, Homestead Tessie Mobile Home Living, and she captured some rainwater, and last night, you know, it was pouring down rain, and so I captured my rainwater and watered my little plants that I planted with it. So Christopher Green saved my bacon. Thank God I was subscribed to him. The Bear Pantry Show. That was really good. You guys might want... Now, I think you guys should subscribe to her because she's just going to get by on what she has. So am I. I'm not going out there. I don't want to go out in the trenches. I don't want to end up in some hospital with everybody with the coronavirus. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I just don't make a big deal out of the bread making. I've been making it for years. I just, that's margarine. So I'm just going to put my bread in the pan and I'm just going to rise it one time. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to make myself some sausage gravy. Yeah, the way I make it is no big deal. And then, fortunately, I stockpiled heavy cream. I got this for $1 and I made myself some homemade butter to go on my homemade bread. What I'll probably do is put a little butter, a little melted butter on my bread before I bake it. That's going to give it a nice crust. So we're just going to take the quarantine one day at a time. We're not going to say, oh, it's probably going to be a week. It's probably going to be 2 weeks. No, that's too overwhelming. You know, when you give your brain too much stress and it's flooded with cortisol, that is really bad for your brain, so you don't want to do that. I mean, this could go on for a while. You just want to make the best of it. You know, not to be a Pollyanna, there's nothing good about it. But it's going to be so much worse if we get the coronavirus. I think it was the right call. And from what and this was a funny thing. I thought, well, I'll overcome this. I'll go to a better area. No, it wasn't. It really wasn't. I mean, they still didn't have their masks on. It was really bad. Okay, you guys, be safe and stay warm and don't get wet, you know? And God bless you all.